Daddy, look what I found.
What is it?
Some small birch polypore, but it's not the right size.
Well, that is what we're looking for, isn't it? But you're right.
Yeah.
On the hunt for some bigger stuff. Feel how spongy it is.
Yeah, it feels like really soft.
And look how much it's just pushing out of this. What? If that's birch polypore, what does that mean this piece of wood is?
Birch.
Exactly. So it's just pushing out. So it's a dead piece of birch and it's growing out of it.
One there.
Exactly. Let's go, let's keep hunting. So that'll be really good for the bird's nest later, Finn.
Yeah.
So even though that will light when it's damp, which it is at the moment, what would be a good idea to do with that now?
Put it in our pocket because it will actually dry quicker.
There you go, then it will warm up. Yeah, do you want to pop that in your pocket of your trousers? Because it'll be near your skin. Perfect, let's roll. Despite all the rain yesterday, this is actually pretty dry, Finn, so we'll take this brackeny fern stuff for the bird's nest material as well. And this time I'll stick this into my pocket to dry it.
There's some more up there.
Okay, do you want to grab it? So yeah, so I'll get this into my pocket and that should warm that up over the next hour or so before we need the fire. What did you say you just heard a woodpecker then? There's wildlife everywhere, isn't there? Absolutely everywhere. So what we've got here, Finn, what are these?
Common earthballs.
They are common earthballs, so they're similar to puffballs. Now these are quite mature specimens. Now, why has that got a hole in the top there?
Because it's been burst.
Well, not that it's been burst, it's burst. And what's going to come out of there?
Puff.
Yeah, and what's contained within the puff?
I don't know.
All the spores. So that's how these mushrooms reproduce. So the inside of them starts off, I mean, these earthballs always start off as black inside, whereas puffballs start white, and that's why you can eat the majority of puffballs, but common earthballs are poisonous. They'll give you a upset tummy. But what they do is, as they mature, they reach the point that they need to expel their spores, so you get a hole in the top, which I'm not sure that's completely formed, and that will blow out and it will disperse millions of spores everywhere in the woodland, which is why there's so many of these everywhere. You shouldn't breathe these can be bad for your lungs, the spores themselves. So that's not ready to go yet, but that's the hole that it will come out of eventually. Such a nice pond, this. Can you imagine the wildlife that lives in there?
I wish we had a pond like this.
So do I. Oh, Finn, look. More mushrooms.
Wow.
Now, any idea what these are?
I think they could be glistening in caps.
Do you know what? That is a good suggestion, because that's something that they're often mistaken for. These are a mushroom called a sulphur tuft. So can you see on the underside there, Finn?
Yeah.
That's a greeny colour. They're poisonous and they would make you
Die.
They wouldn't make you die, but they would give you quite an upset tummy. So you'd be pretty sick off them. So you never eat anything in the wild, particularly mushrooms.
Unless you're 100% sure it's edible.
Well, yeah, unless you're 100% sure you know exactly what mushroom it is and that it's edible. Brilliant. Okay then, Finn, so this is one of the things that we've come for. What is this?
Birch Polypore.
Yeah, and it's a fresh birch polypore, grown in the last probably week or two. And actually there's another one down there, a larger one. So we'll take certainly the larger one. Do you want to go around and get that one?
Yeah.
That's it, push it down and you'll find it'll break off. And if you flip that over now, so you can see that that's side is lovely and fresh, and that's what we're going to use for something later, okay?
Yeah.
Now Finn, this is an interesting mushroom. What's left of it.
Ew, that looks horrible.
Now when it was fresher, that would have been covered in this horrible, stinky, green, slimy stuff that the flies absolutely love. And it, because it stinks, that's where it gets its name from, the stinkhorn fungus. And the flies will come, they'll land on it, that sticky, horrible stuff and smelly stuff will stick to it. That contains the spores, so the flies fly off, and as a result they spread the spores of the mushroom everywhere. But that's a really old, pretty ropey specimen now, but they are pretty amusing when you see them fresh. Bingo. So this is one of the other things we've come for. What are these called?
Horseshoe fungus.
They are called horseshoe fungus. And why do you think they're called a horseshoe fungus?
Because it's shaped like a horseshoe.
Yeah, it pretty much looks exactly like a horseshoe. You can find them on living trees. This one, well, it's well and truly dead, isn't it? So the way we get these off, Finn, is we get the knife behind. This isn't the most solid piece of wood you're ever gonna
Ask for.
Yeah. And there we go. You take hold of that. Wait. There we go, dropped it.
You can see the remnants.
Remnants. That's one.
That have a go at this one.
Yes. So no, I wouldn't go on the top. What I do is slide it behind the back there. Okay. So now, if you look at the angle there, you're just whacking it straight into the tree, aren't you? So you've got to try and come at it. So you're literally just sliding it behind the actual. So once you've tapped it in, keep tapping. So hit it from this angle. Okay. Now lever, use the knife to lever it off. So pull, you've got to pull it towards you like that. There you go.
That one came off easy.
Yeah, much more easily. Okay. So that's roughly the size of our fist. So that's about as small as we want to go, but we also don't want to go a lot larger. So what we're doing is we're looking for ones that are on a vertical tree. So one that isn't lying down. It needs to be a dead tree, but one that's not lying down, because if it's on the floor, it will just soak up all the moisture.
Yeah.
And actually, look what I've just seen straight through there. It is another
Willy.
stinkhorn fungus. Can you see it? So that one.
What's that big thing down the middle of it?
I think the stipe or the stem on them is hollow, so it's almost got a hole through the middle. You can still just about see the remnants of that green stinky stuff on there, and obviously that one is still standing upright, isn't it? And you can see at the base of it all that jelly and what have you. Interesting mushrooms. So we'll take this one as well. That one's probably a little bit too small, but that's a good size. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that little mushroom there. Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Okay then, right, so if you want to pop the knife round, there's loads of brambles around here, so just be careful of yourself. So you pop that around the back there, then you'll grab the stick. Let me hold that for you there. So slide it around there, you hit the stick. Okay, now if you lever that now, pull that out, that should lever it off, I reckon. There we go, well done. Make sure that doesn't, the knife doesn't flick out. There we go, perfect. Okay, so if you get through all these brambles, this is a couple of really nice and fresh Birch Polypore. So if you want to take that one, I'll take that one. Oh, that's a cracker. How lovely and white that is under there. A few little bugs on there. Yeah, none of the pores are fully opened up yet. And that lovely leathery brown top.
Yeah,
right then, let's get off then. Let's go and get a brew happening.
Yeah.
Right, This looks great here, Finn. Right, little sticks for the bush box, and then let's get cracking. Let's get a brew on. So we've got a good haul of these horse hoof fungus. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lucky 8. Best way to do that is if you do this, just break it completely sideways like that. This should be.
Where do we put them?
Just put them on here for the moment. Now, can you pass one of those Birch Polypores? Okay, so this got a bit dirty while we've been carrying it around, but this is very soft and very spongy. So if I chop this into a couple of strips like that, you can see that that feels soft and squidgy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But when you dry it, it becomes that. So it goes from soft and squidgy to really, really hard. Another name for this Birch Polypore is razor strop fungus. Now, a strop is something that you use to sharpen a knife. It can really.
I thought to clean a knife.
No, not to clean a knife. It's to really get it sharp. And this is a sharp knife anyway. But what it will do is, if you've used it on an oil stone or used it on a dry stone to really put a nice edge on it, this just removes any lip of burr, any residual metal, and it will just go over and over. Probably better lengthways like that. But what you'll do is do each side, not cutting into it, so you're almost dragging away, but super sharp, that will get it. So just gently take, you feel how sharp that is. As with most bracket fungus, this is also can be a tinder. It's not as good as something like chaga, or not as good as the amadou that we're going to get out of the horseshoe fungus that we've picked up earlier. But what we can do is we're going to put a spart onto this to create an ember, okay? So if you pop those out of the way a second, is you're going to take the saw, and then you're gently just gonna rub it like that. And what that is going to do, similar to like we've done in previous videos with the chaga, is going to create some pretty fine material. And as we know, with fine material, what does it increase?
Air.
Airflow, by increasing the surface area, doesn't it, of the tissue. So we don't want hard, compact tissue. We want nice, fluffy tissue. What we wanted to do is probably turn it better that way and just gently cutting it down. That's it. So you can see it's generating dust, isn't it? So you really want to almost probably hold it nearer the end, so you've got more control here, and then you can just be doing that, just almost dragging it, and you're getting all that fine dust. But that was a really good effort you made there. Okay, so that probably is enough. Now we're going to need an actual chunk of it, so I'm going to cut a chunk off, and that's what we're going to put, really tough because it's so dry, but that's what we're going to get smouldering, and that's going to be our ember.
Plus,
okay.
Do you know why it's really good?
Why is that?
It's also got some like fluffy bits to catch.
Perfect, that is great, Finn. You are learning all the time, aren't you?
So I think we should start like that.
Tell you what we'll do, we'll put this on a bit of birch bark, being careful not to lose all that air that we've got between it. There you go, can you see it smouldering? So gently, very gently blow it. And actually it'll probably
got
just...
the wind.
Exactly, you've got the wind, haven't we? You know. So you can see it starting to smoke and starting to take. So we'll leave that for a couple of moments. So come in, you're going to press it gently next to it. Then press it into it and just gently blow, and that will transfer. That's it. And if you think the big bit's lit now, you can lift it up and blow the big bit. There you go, you've got it. So keep blowing that, let it catch. Now remember, don't go berserk on it, just gentle blowing. If you look after that, it's very good. So that will just keep smoking and smoking. That's good, yeah, you can waft it in the wind. Put that out now. So we finished with that, but that might as well go in the bird's nest as well, because it's all flammable material, isn't it? Have you still got that birch bark that we had got in your pocket?
Yes.
And I'll dig out what I've got. So that is going to be a lot drier than it was when we put it in there for sure, isn't it? Because our body heat has dried it out. I'm going to really fluff that up for you. I'm going to put birch bark, just gently, it'll be fine when it's, because we've got this birch bark, but what we've got to be mindful, we've got to have everything ready to go.
Look how like thin the smoke is.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I'm going to pop that into there. And so you're going to gently nurture it. So you might have to cup it a little bit and start to blow. That's it, you can hear it cracking already. Now, as we saw last time, that birch bark won't take a lot to do. Just take your time. You're going to get out of practice if you don't watch it. Right, it's getting. Listen to that. It's talking to you, isn't it now? There you go. Right, it's looking. Okay, don't panic if it's going to go. Oh, it's going. Flame.
Where?
Behind. Right, pop it down. Go down. Gently, don't want to put it out. Ooh, right.
Just look.
Okay, Finn, so just while we're waiting for the hot chocolate to cool, we just want to demonstrate one other thing that you can do with these. These are multi-purpose, there's loads of things you can do with these, but we've talked about the razor stropping, talked about using it as a Tinder fungus, but also we can use it as a field dressing, which is basically like a plaster or a band-aid that you'd use out in the field. Okay, so the way we do that is using a knife, but making sure your fingers are well out the way. We're going to score the length of it, and we're going to cut a plaster shape out of it like that, and then we're going to try and peel back, but sometimes these are a bit far gone, and I'm guessing actually this one may be. If you try and peel that back, it's really tough, isn't it? Yeah, so it's too far gone, this one. Alright, maybe not, just do it gently. There you go. Well, what it's doing is it's pulling up the under material, and obviously we made a bit of a mess of this in a sense that it's covered in dirt, so this isn't the best example, but when we've peeled that off there, you've got essentially a plaster, haven't you? So what we'll do, so we've got this, we're going to wrap it around your finger, so we pop it there, wrap it round on itself, and it's quite stretchy, and it comes round. And the beauty about it is it sticks to itself. It'll start to peel off a little bit to start with, but as it starts to dry out, and again, this isn't the best example. This, although it came off, it's almost too far gone. It's a bit too mature, this specimen. We'll see whether we can find another one somewhere and do another short video on it. But you can see that would stick to itself, and that's going to keep the wound clean, and it's going to really aid that healing. You warm enough, are you? Cards.
Who's that guy?
Lorenzo Pellegrini, apparently. I don't know who he is though. The weather stayed nice at least, wasn't it? You're going to be here all week if you do it like that. Just drink it, Finn. Because I drink like a normal person rather than with a spoon. They don't have to sound like a drain either. Okay, just drink.
And it's too hot.
It's not too hot.
Of course it is.
Just drink it. It's madness. You just drink it as if you're trying to drink it very discreetly, as if you don't want to let anybody know you're here. Okay, and while you're drinking that, I'm going to pack up.
That's really discreet.
Very discreet. That is quite discreet by your standards. Okay, so we're going to leave this one here. So thanks very much for watching. We've had a fantastic morning in the woods, in this birch woodland. So we've been really sort of tapping into the resources that are available here, specifically the horse hoof fungus, which we'll process in another video, get the amadou out of that, and also the birch polypore, which we'll use as a razor strop and obviously demonstrate that it can be a Tinder fungus. If you have really enjoyed this video, please consider liking and also consider subscribing, because it really does help the channel. So what I'll do is I'll pass you over to Finn to say cheerio.
If you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye. Yo!
Whoa, almost forgot to say, we have left no trace as ever. So again, if you've enjoyed the video and consider subscribing, that would be brilliant. Okay, Finn, over to you.
Bye. Yo!